Peace, love, and empowerment, beautiful people. I pray that this video finds you well and that you are out here achieving goals, getting the job done. LJ the Peacemaker here, doing peaceful things as always. Need peace? I got some, and I'm willing to share. So praise God, 2024 is the year of I am that I am, and man, I am that I am. Praise God. I can't even praise God enough because God is really doing incredible things in my life. It's truly, truly amazing. You know what I mean? And it's really about this consistent day-to-day work and putting one foot in front of the other, even when it looks like nothing is happening. So, like, one of the incredible things that I'm so excited about is I began this year my weekly workshop, Safe Space, which is an opportunity for you brothers to come together, really just be seen, be heard, gain some insights, but really engage in empowering conversations, not only with myself, but also with one another. So you really just get to sit around your reflection and feel loved and be heard. So it's super dope. And I mean, yesterday I just had the 5th one of the year. And I'm like, yo, look at me. Last year, I was struggling to do one workshop. You know what I mean? So it's like now we only in February and I already did the 5th one and it was phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. It keeps getting better and better every single week. And I invite you to join me. So if you're interested, you can email me at ljthepeacemaker7@gmail.com and I'll give you the info to register. There's a small registration fee because it's really a filtration system to see who's willing to invest in their self. Are you willing to invest in you? I mean, I'm investing in me, everything I got. I'm putting in all my whole back, front, sides, mind, heart, soul, all of it on the line. You know what I mean? And I share that with you. So I invite you to come through, feel loved, be seen, and be heard. Now, there's so many other things in the work, but I'm not going to really just go into those because they've yet to launch. So soon I'll be promoting some new things. So make sure you watch out for that. But so all this excitement and all this newness is like really incredible. Like, and it's been such a long time coming. And that leads me right into what I want to talk to you about today. Today, let's talk about the dark night of the soul. What is that? I mean, the dark night of the soul is really a term used to describe a faith crisis or a very difficult time in our lives. And so we all experience this dark night of the soul. And I acknowledge that the dark night of the soul is part of this hero's journey. It's part of this journey of really coming into knowing who you are, knowledge of self, gaining insights as to the truth of God in you, and really being willing to go into the depths of your soul, into those dark places that are scary as hell. And you know, it's like we hear that and it's like, if it's scary, why do I want to do that? But it's only a journey to find the truth, which is that you are God, God is you, God is in you. And I mean, I say that and I never wanted to get twisted like, oh, I'm God. No, there's God, a creator that created you. And so you're part of that creator. You know what I mean? You're the creation and the creator, but you can't be it without acknowledging that there is an actual creator. So it's like, I can't be like, oh, I'm not praising God and trying to do my due diligence to connect with God, and then I'm like, God. It don't work like that. You got to put the work in to align with God, to learn of God, to commune with God, develop this dialogue with God, and then you begin to really feel that divine connection and know that God is in you. That's where you hear God at, on the inside. And so that's a lot of what I really share, understanding that God is in us. So like, if God is in us, God is abundance, God is all things, then there is no lack and there is no deficit. And that means that anytime we're experiencing those things, it has to do with our mindset. It's not because of God. It's because something's going on in us that's a little bit distorted. And I mean, I want to say it's of no fault of our own, kind of, sort of, because some stuff we perpetuate ourselves. But ultimately, in the beginning, when we're children, the world does a number on us. Like, we're not out here hurting ourselves. we start hurting ourselves after we first get hurt. But, you know, the world does a number on us. And so we embark consciously, only consciously, because I mean, if you're not consciously embarking on the hero's journey, then you're just going to be out here banging into things and really not necessarily finding your way, even though God intends to lead you to ultimate truth. But we got to be active participants. It's funny because a good friend of mine told me yesterday, she said, if they ain't woke, then let them sleep. And that was so funny because God is always desiring for us to wake up, and God is constantly giving opportunities for us to wake up. But we get to a point where it becomes a conscious choice. Do you want to wake up or you want to stay asleep? You know, and nobody can wake up somebody who don't want to wake up. But that's what I really believe the hero's journey is all about. Is this journey of us waking up to the truth, to the true power that is within us, and to the freedom that is only accessible through God, which is the ultimate truth, and the truth shall set you free. So I've been out here on this journey to freedom, and, you know, really learning of it, learning what it means, figuring out how to do it, how to get it, how to walk it out, so that I could not only do it for myself, for my children, for the entirety of my bloodline, but also in remembrance and to pay homage to the ancestors, so that no sacrifice put into me was in vain. And additionally, so that the people like me who's looking for the path to freedom, who's ready to get free, have a way that is already proven for them. And I'm out here on a loudspeaker shouting it out, yo, freedom this way, come, it's over here. Praise God. And I mean, this has been my destiny, so it's like I feel so incredible to be able to be here and share it with you. And so on this journey of personal transformation, this hero's journey, coming to the realization that I am the hero of my story, and the same is true for you. You are the one who got to save your life. Ain't nobody else coming. God got you if you align with figuring this out. You know, seek and you shall find. And so the dark night of the soul is a part of this journey that I feel like we don't necessarily speak about. You know, you hear people talking about success, oh, you get there, some parts are hard, but we don't really understand that there's this dark, lonely part where it's real scary. Part of you feels like nothing is working. You almost don't know what to do. You feel kind of lost, confused, weary, drained, tired, and like just thirsting for the next phase. Like, where is this going? What am I doing? And I mean, for myself, I just came out of that phase. Praise God. So I want to make sure I assure you that on the other side of the dark night of the soul is new life. God breathes new life into us. So it's not even that, oh, I got to make it through this hard time to get to the other side just because, or just because it's so hard. No, it's a process that you're going through so that you can be revived, so that you can be inaugurated, so to speak, into this higher degree of self. And I mean, for me, I was just saying that it's my coronation. You know what I'm saying? I got a new jewel in my crown. And I'm stepping up higher, stepping right into it, because this is who I was designed to be. And I'm grasping it more fully every single day, and being it and shining brighter and brighter and brighter, and holding back less and less as I learn the truth of me and really step into the fullness of my power. But so let me tell you about my experience. So I started this journey of personal transformation. I'm about 3.5 years in. And like in the beginning, you know, I started and I was real gung-ho with it. Like, I'm near death. I have nothing. So therefore I have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And ultimately it was about God. It's like, yo, why am I over here working hard dying? And why do I have nothing to show for the effort I've been putting forth in life? And that's all contrary to God. Like, I knew God too well at that point where I'm like, I'm not going to keep tolerating this, because this is nothing to do with what God says. I know God. So like, then why is this all the opposite? You know what I'm saying? So then once I got to that place that I'm no longer willing to tolerate the bondage of poverty, poverty of mind, poverty of finances, poverty of health, any lack, in my life or in myself, once I decided that, then God just lined everything up. You know what I'm saying? And I say that, and it probably sounds like, oh, he put this piece here, next piece there, next piece there. Yeah, but that don't mean each piece was like real close with each other. Some of them was miles down. So once he gave me one piece, I had to go like 50 miles to get to the next one, and sometimes I was tired. You know. But so I began this journey in 2020, and then like I'm on the journey. I start off, I'm real gung-ho because I'm like, I'm changing my life, I'm not tolerating this, I'm living for God, I'm fulfill my destiny, I'm here to set people free, first starting with myself, I'm changing the world. So it's like I'm with this big vision. This vision has always been with me, and so it's like I refused to die and not fulfill the purpose. Like that was not going down for me. And I guess I got tired enough of all of the crap that I was living to fully commit. And so I commit, and I'm like, yeah, and I understand. God made it real clear to me that like God is not a man that he will lie. So what he's showing me, the truth of what he's showing me, the vision will be fulfilled. So I don't got to worry about, is it going to happen? All I got to do is go get it. Get up every day, keep going towards it, keep following God's leading, and like the success is assured. So for me, in my mind, it was never a question is, will this work? Or like, am I going to be able to achieve whatever it is that God is showing me? That wasn't a question. The question was, okay, you just got to get up every day and take the steps. Every day, take the steps. And that don't mean like go crazy, drive yourself nuts. That means follow what God is telling you. Just keep following. One foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other. You don't got to figure out how to get all the way there. All you got to do is today, no, from here to here is today's step. So I was very, very clear on that point, which, I mean, praise God. Because that was God letting me know that initially to help me foster commitment, consistency, and to assure that I wasn't going to stop, you know. And so I was clear. I'm not going to stop. Nothing can stop me each day from getting up and putting one foot in front of the other. And so I was doing that and was doing that and was doing that. And then came 2023. So like that whole process prior to 2023, it wasn't easy, but I was real amped up because it was the beginning and I was like, I'm going to get mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go do what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm here, power to the people. And so I'm just going forward. And like 2023 came. And it's like, okay, this is almost my third year in of working towards this purpose. And like, I was changing. I knew I was different because I was believing in myself more. I was showing up. I was speaking out. I had been on a podcast. I had done different interviews. I had sold a couple of products. I had done some speaking. Like, things were changing. They were happening. But, like, the financial aspect was not stable. Like, was not stable. And it's like, yo, still the money ain't rolling in? Like, what is going on? And it wasn't about being rich. It was about sustainability. Like, why is it I keep having to figure out how things are going to get paid for? And, I mean, ultimately, I wasn't figuring it out. Like, I didn't know how to figure it out. God was just taking care of it. But it almost seemed like in the nick of time where it was just enough time to test my faith to the maximum. And so, you know, initially it's like, I'm not doubting God. I know God got it. But after going through consistent episodes of that, it started to take a toll on me. It started to make me feel a little weary, a little tired. Like, yo, every time a need arises, I have to just sit and hold firm in faith and fight off the fear and the doubts to know that God is going to provide. And it's like my faith consistently kept getting stronger, and I kept trusting God more and more because God kept coming through. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, at 2023, I was almost 3 years in, and it's like, how was I living the previous couple of years? It was all God. It was all God making the way. So it was clear God is making the way. I don't got to worry if God's making a way, but that did not diminish the fear that comes up when you got bills due and you don't know how it's going to work out. you know, even though you do know, because you know God will make the way. But, you know, really just relinquishing this hold that the world has on us. And so once 2023 began, it was like, yo, this is a new year. Things are going to change. I mean, so much had been accomplished prior, and now this incredible new year is upon me. So I can't wait to see. This is the year where, you know, things really changed. And like the whole entire year was like this pressing in of faith. Like this real pressing in of faith. I guess testing my faith, really like fine tuning it. And when I say testing, I don't mean like, oh, pass or fail test or choose A, B, or C, multiple choice. No, I mean that trial by fire, how God purifies us through the fire. And so 2023, I was walking through the fire the whole entire year. And granted, like I said, I've been committed on this journey. So I was still putting in the daily work, still showing up in new ways, still pushing myself to be brave, to be courageous, to think outside the box, to follow God's leading, to clarify my purpose, to be intentional with every step, and like just doing that. You know what I mean? Still dependent on God in every way for everything, continuing a dialogue with God. And like by the end of the year, I want to say starting maybe like September, end of August, September, it really started to wear on me. Like it was wearing on me heavy. And therein was the dark night of the soul. Like it really started weighing on me heavy. It's like, yo, I'm working so hard. I'm like, God, nobody knows how hard I'm working except me and you. Like nobody knows how hard I'm working. I show up. God is like, I got you. You show up and you shining, baby. Don't worry about that. But it's like, yeah, I don't look like what's going on, but I'm feeling it. Like it's really taking a toll on me. And so at that point, it's like I still just had to keep pressing on, pressing through, keep believing, keep fulfilling the commitment that I made to myself and to this purpose. And like I just kept going. So that was all the end of August. Then came September, and the pressure was just intensifying. And then came October, and it was getting more and more intense, and I was getting more and more tired, and things started looking more and more scarier. And then came November, and then some crises arose, and it was like I was holding on to faith and just like dragging myself through. And by the time December came, like I don't want to say I was done, because there's no done. I'm not stopping. You know what I'm saying? I already committed to it. I'm an unstoppable force. God is in me, so there ain't no stopping. But like I was tired. Like I was real tired. Like it was like something gotta give. I don't know what it is, but something gotta give, God. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what to do next. I know what I've been doing, but like I felt like I plateaued at a certain level, and that's not the level that I'm supposed to stay at. So like, what do I do? Where do I go? How do I do this? And I mean, throughout that latter part of 2023, it's like I started beginning to, well, not even beginning to, because throughout life, we're consistently seeking the solution outside of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And so part of this journey was really coming into truth, where I know the solution is in me, this direct connection with God. Like God to give me the answer. God to give me whatever I need from in here. You know what I'm saying? I'll hear it inside because we're directly connected. But like it really started pressing on me, all the pressure, and making me start getting kind of desperate. Like where I'm looking around like, where's the answer? Where's my big break? My big opportunity? Where will it come from? Who's going to provide it? I need more clients. Where are they? Are you one? Is that one? And like, you know, that place of despair really had me in like this low vibration. And it's important for us to know that that pressing, that dark night of the soul that we're walking in is really us having to confront our demons so we could slay them motherfuckers. Like that's what it's about, really. You know, but it's like going that deep into ourselves, like places that we never really fully examine or don't really understand. We're acting out of them, but we don't really know what it is. It's lonely, and it is very frightening. And so, you know, all that pressing and all that pressure really started making me desperate. Like, and not where I was doing necessarily outlandish things, but where it was diminishing my, I want to say, fortitude, because I was not taking as good care of myself as I could have been. You know, the self-care piece began to dwindle. And not because I didn't want to take care of myself. I mean, granted, prayer, reading my Bible, stuff like that, that is non-negotiable. So there's always a constant dialogue with God. So that was never diminishing. But like with regards to incorporating things that I like, things for enjoyment, things for relaxation, it began to dwindle, because it was like, I got to figure this out. What's going on? I need to get some clients. I got to keep marketing. I got to keep doing this, got to keep doing that. And that's out of alignment with God. You know what I mean? God deals in ease. God deals in divine selection. And God will strategically place things before us that are for us. The next opportunity. And so I'm out here like searching and looking. You know what I mean? And so whenever we're searching and looking like that, we usually find the wrong stuff. You know what I mean? Like, that's really how that story goes. And so I'm out here searching, looking, seeking outside of myself. And so I came in contact with someone who needed my help. So I'm like, oh, great. Clients, more clients. That's what we need, you know? So wonderful. And then being that, you know, I was coming from this place of like just weariness and from this low vibration, because I was so tired, then I was attracting things on that vibration. You know what I mean? And attracting things that were attracted to my issues at that time. And so I encountered this client. Someone reached out to me, needed my help. That was awesome. I was super excited about it. We began to work together. Things were great. And then it started getting a little bit weird. Like, it became very clear, okay, this person needs help, but I can't help them. They're beyond my scope of expertise. And I can't help them. And so intellectually, that became very clear. But internally, something in me could not relinquish the need to feel like I had to help this person. And it was like this internal pulling within me that, like, it was almost automatic. Like, I was not in control of it. And I felt like I couldn't let go of trying to help this person. And it's like, okay, what's going on there? What's up with that? You know? And so I continued to try to help this person. Continued to try to help them when it was obvious mentally for me that this was beyond the scope of my help. And so it really got to this place where it was like, you playing yourself. Like, you over here playing yourself. What are you doing? You know? And so this whole experience, I want to say, was over a couple of months, maybe 2-3 months time span. And so it got to a point where it was like, yo, you are really playing yourself. What is going on here? You gotta knock it off. And so, okay, I cut off, working with this individual and attempting to be a source of help, because it's like, you're not helping them and you're hurting yourself. Like, things are getting real out of alignment and out of whack. Why is it that you are not able to just cut that off sooner? And so this has been a pattern throughout my life, because I've always had this desire to help people. You know what I mean? And so I've always been very self-sacrificial, going above and beyond for other people, be there for them where it made no sense. You know, it was absolutely out of alignment. It's like, why are you sacrificing or like giving so much of yourself to people that don't value it? You know, it's almost like this codependent thing where like you need to feel needed and they will suck the life force out of you, you know? And so, like I said, that was my previous pattern. And so I felt like, how did I get back here? I thought I came so far and now I'm doing this shit again? Like, I was doing really good, even though, like I said, I was tired, I was weary. 2023 was weighing on me heavy. And it was like, what is going on here? I don't know what's going on, but I know I got to cut this off. God was like, cut that off and stop it. So once that happened, I really had to figure it out, because that didn't stop that pulling feeling, like this yearning in myself, like I gotta help, I can't not help. And I asked God. I had like this real intense cry, like one of those gut-wrenching cries, and those are so healing and so therapeutic. It's like we let out the stuff from the depths of our soul, hence part of this dark night of the soul experience, going into that deep dark place so we could let that out, and that way we're not carrying it no more. And typically we don't really get to see those places in ourselves unless we're experiencing this dark night of the soul, walking through the valley of the shadow of death. And so ultimately I'm crying, I'm asking God, like, what is going on? Why do I feel like this? Like, what is this pulling? Why do I feel this yearning to like have to help? Like, what is this? It makes no sense when this is detrimental to me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be over here being disrespecting myself or not acknowledging my own worth, because I'm saying calling it help and it's not helping nobody. It's harming myself and the other individual ultimately, because it's fostering this codependency that makes no sense. But so I'm crying, this gut-wrenching cry, and praise God, like God gives me the answers. Like, God be quick about it. Sometimes God be so quick, I'm like, yo, God, like, seriously, you were just waiting for me to do that gut-wrenching cry? That was all I had to do to get to the solution? But praise God, yeah. So I advise you, when you start feeling one of those harsh, intense cries, go somewhere alone and let that shit out, because it is healing there. There are answers for you there, and God always responds to that. It's like that, the prayer of groaning, where it's beyond words. It's just where the soul speaks. And so I go through this cry, and then God tells me, when you were very young, you took a vow to yourself that you would never leave nobody in a cold, dark place like how you felt. You felt abandoned, you felt left, you felt like nobody was there to protect you, and you vowed you would never leave nobody like that. And it was like, oh shit. Oh shit. Like, that was early in childhood. And we go through these experiences and they create our worldview at a very young age. We go through something painful and it forms how we look at the world. It's like we start looking at the world through this particular lens that was crafted by this small child and from this hurt place. And so that's how we operate. I mean, I'm not going to say that something's wrong with it, because that's part of all of our process. Like, we're all living out that sequence of events. But like, it's important for us to get to the place where we see it, where we address it. And I mean, that's part of this dark night of the soul experience, going that deep in. And so all that pressure of the year really pressed on me to get to this place. And so I'm like, oh snap, yeah, that's true. I did. Like, I promised that never. And God was like, it's time to relinquish that. You got to let that go. And so I was like, all right. I said a prayer. I relinquished it. I did a fire ceremony, which is like where you write stuff on a paper and you burn it. So I did that at the fireplace. I cleansed my house. It wasn't sage. It was something else. I forgot what it's called, but I used that to cleanse my house. And I mean, I did whatever I needed to do, and I asked God to really break this tie, to pull out this cord, this attachment in me that's attaching me to these things that are not for me, And so after that, God led me. So I did that one day, and then the following day, I was doing my mirror work, which is like part of my routine. And typically, I say affirmations. I am God. God is me. God and I are one. Things of that nature. But like, the spirit really began to take over during the mirror work. And so, like, it was so freaking amazing. Like, it was so freaking incredible. And like that whole experience, I'm now incorporating as part of my signature system, because I'm like, yo, that was godly orchestrated, godly divine. Just like God gave me the concept of the bucket, just like God gave me the idea of overstanding, and just like God gave me the post-it note method to renewing the mind, God gave me the this new mirror technique. I've yet to know the name of it because it's still relatively new for me. But like, so I go in the mirror, I'm about to just start, affirming things to me, and then I could feel the spirit taking over, beginning to speak through me, and like telling me everything I need to hear. Like, and it was so profound. So I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm like, I will never leave you in a cold, dark, lonely place. You don't never, ever have to worry about being left alone like that. I will never abandon you. I will always fight for you. I will always be here for you. You always got somebody in your corner. I'm so committed to you that you never have to worry about any of that old stuff. You never have to worry about looking outside yourself for somebody to care, for somebody to value you. I care about you. I value you. With my every breath, I'm here to fight for you. I will never let you go. I got you. Don't you worry about it. You're a warrior, and I see you. I know you. I am you. And like, so it really just began taking on this life of its own. And I mean, I'm trying to stay cool right now, but it, like, I was getting real in it. Like the spirit was really taking over, and it was so profound and so powerful. And through that experience, it's like God broke off me that old thing, that pact I made with myself, that pulling and yearning to feel like I had to help people, even if it was to my detriment, because that was coming from a hurt place. And it was through this dark night of the soul experience that God broke it off. And like after that, I was completely transformed. I was like, that's right. I'm the one. I will never turn my back on me. I've been proving it these last 3 years. I'm so committed to me that I don't gotta worry about nothing. You know what I mean? And so through this mirror experience, it was God speaking to me, through me, as me. So like, I'm looking in the mirror into my own eyes, but God is giving me the words. And as I'm saying it, I'm like healing those hurt places within me, because God is telling me exactly what I need to hear. So it was truly cosmic, truly a supernatural experience. And I share that with you because I invite you to try it. Actually, I recommend that you try it. Saying a prayer of initiation, go into the mirror and say, God, I invite you to speak through me. God in me, I surrender to you. Tell me everything I need to hear. And so, again, I'll repeat that. The initiation prayer. God, I invite you to speak through me. God in me, tell me everything I need to hear. And God will tell you what you've been waiting for somebody outside you to tell you your whole life. And it's so powerful because you standing there looking at you, knowing that it's really not you, but it is you. So it's like this paradoxical, cyclical, like otherworldly thing happening right now. And it's like, as you doing that, you begin to feel those old things break right off, like, and it falls right away. And it's so powerful and so transformative. And it's like my whole life, I've been wanting somebody to see how dedicated I am, how devoted, how committed, how loyal. And I was standing there in the mirror telling myself, the God in me telling me, I see you. I know you dedicated. I'm dedicated to you. To who? To me. To you. To me. To you. To me. And it was like this, almost like a ping pong game, where it's going to me, but coming back to me and going out to me. And it was really special. Really special. And so I was able to come to this higher degree in myself, because it's like now I know it ain't nothing outside me that could ride for me, like the God in me. And the same is true for you. Ain't nothing, ain't nobody, ain't no how outside of you that could ride for you like you. You the hero of your story. You the one who gets to show up for you. You the one who gets to commit to you like nobody else. You the one who gets to love on you. It's the God in you who gets to do all those things. And the God in you is almighty, all powerful, is ceaseless, is ever present. So imagine aligning with that, how you ride for you. Like, come on now. That's glorious. Praise God. And so, woohoo. I mean, it gets me so hyped. But like that was the ending point of this dark night of the soul experience. And so, as I told you, I'm walking through this dark place, really having to look at myself. And it was only through this faith crisis of 2023, the pressure, the constant pressing, that would not let up. And so it just was relentless. And then finally, by the end of the year, I was in a low place, vibrating low, attracting low things. But ultimately, God uses all things for good. So this dark night of the soul experience culminated in exactly what I needed to break that shit off. Like, break it off. And praise God, I'm so grateful. And I feel new. You know, and so as we're going on these journeys, trying to fulfill a goal, trying to complete a thing, trying to become everything we know we could be, we go through this part of the experience, that pressing part that's pressing on us, so that we go deep enough into ourselves, into those deep, dark places, so we could see the things that are no longer serving us, so we could see those demons that we carrying around, and so we could exercise them and get them out of our life, and understand that they came from an old story, a hurting place that we no longer need to carry, and that ultimately we can't take with us to the next level. Because it's like, in order to get to the next level, we got to step up. And we can't step up carrying all this extra crap. It won't work up there. You know what I mean? And so, as we acknowledge that, oh, this is part of the process, the pressure, the hard stuff, the dark part, the scary things, me really looking at myself and feeling like, yo, do I know what I'm doing? Am I all right? If we surrender all that to God and continue to cling to God through the experience, then we make it on the other side. And what is on the other side is not just us making it there for some relief. No, it's new life. It's a new elevation. It's ascension to a higher degree of yourself. It's invitation to a new you. You know what I mean? Because we're consistently being reborn. And it's like you are reborn like the phoenix through this fire, through this dark place, through the pain. As we get to the point where we get to see it clearly, then we get to acknowledge that the monster ain't really that big after all. I'm bigger than it. I'm stronger than it, as long as I got God. Because God is bigger, God is stronger than everything. So praise God. And I mean, that was my dark night of the soul experience. And here I am, just like feeling incredible. I'm like, yo, 2024, the year I am that I am, and so I am, because so it is. So watch out, world, here I come. And I mean, I've been coming, but it's just getting harder, stronger, and more intentional and precise. So praise God for all of that. And I mean, I pray that this really encourages you, to let you know that you on that journey, you fighting that good fight of faith. You've been putting the work in, day out, and there's this wilderness season. It's only part of the process. It's not for you to feel like it ain't working, or like you don't know what you're doing. You don't know the next steps. Granted, you don't need to. God knows all things, and God got you. And you're going through that experience because it's going to bring you higher. That's the point of it. Know it. Each step, as it hurts, as you feel the pain, as you feel lost, as you feel confused, just cling to God, knowing that this is all part of the process. God is doing a mighty thing in me, and on the other side is new life. I will be transformed. I will be reborn, as all these old things are being broken off me. through this dark experience. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and the light is bright and it's glorious and it's God. And always know that you ain't alone in the dark place. God is always right there, right there. God never leaves us nor forsakes us. So you are safe, you are secure, and you are truly, truly loved. So I said so much. And I mean, you know, I always got a lot to say. There's so much more to say, but I'll save that for the next video. As always, I love you so, so much. I thank you so, so much for your time. Again, my weekly workshops are every Wednesday at 1 p.m. And to find out how to register for those, you can email me at ljthepeacemaker7@gmail.com. I would love to have you there. And I know that you will truly have an otherworldly experience, because that's what I'm creating. So come get you some. And that's really it. I love you. I thank you. And remember, if you have a bucket and you put a drop in it every day, then your bucket will inevitably overflow. So your job is to keep putting those drops in the bucket. Whatever it is, keep your eyes on the prize. Keep taking a step in that direction. Keep going. Keep putting those drops in the bucket, and your overflow is guaranteed. I love you so, so much. LJ the Peacemaker, eradicating poverty one thought at a time. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.